Yo, 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 yo.
Yo. And welcome to Point Blank Period.
I love it.
Coronavirus.
Wow.
It's getting real. Oh, mate, what
Times
an
we
evening.
live in, huh?
What an evening in London.
So, welcome to the pod, Chantelle.
Thank you
Yeah.
so much.
Welcome to Point Blank Period, everyone.
Yep.
Welcome to our coronavirus special.
It's hard out here. Like, a week ago, I still, had a full job and everything. Now look at where we at.
Now we're on the verge of lockdown.
Yeah, literally, we're recording this. This is the Thursday, 19th of March. There's been several messages across WhatsApp groups across the UK saying that, you know, my next door neighbour's plumber's best friend's son said that they work in the army and we're about to go to lockdown.
No, honestly, how did it even start? Was it Tuesday night? I think it was Tuesday night, right?
Everyone heard this rumour.
Tuesday or Wednesday night.
We've been seeing the military are being called in.
Yeah.
My friend in the army, my cousin in the...
It's mad because
My
after
friend in the
people said they were
government.
closing the schools, everyone was like, yeah, army's coming out. I was like, when did we
Even
get from
before.
0 to
No,
100?
before the schools.
The
It was
schools was
since
the last
Tuesday.
bit. Yeah.
Oh, mate.
The speculation, you know what I love? What this has shown me is that I'm in the group of people that are in the know.
Yeah. You're the ones that informing everyone else.
No, I'm not that I'm informing, but I'm being informed. And
Ah.
I'm grateful for that, you know, thank you.
I'm not.
I've been feeling useful, fam.
My paranoia is like, shut up the roof. Like, I'm out here.
Serious.
Like, guys, I got my asthma pump on me.
God
Like,
damn.
It's deep out here.
Got that thing on you.
We got that
Ready
thing.
to go.
Everyone's out here like, oh, people are all getting like sick and they're getting it the worst, mate. What about people with like bronchitis? You
Bronchitis.
know, asthma?
Yeah.
Like, it's deep out here, bruv. We can't risk it at my big age.
Honestly.
Do you know
So
what?
Lord knows, man, what's going to happen tomorrow or when the government announces their little bill.
Oh yeah. I swear that was supposed to drop tonight, according to one of the WhatsApp sources.
Which WhatsApp is this?
I mean, my source is BBC News and Sky News Live,
Hey.
so...
Hey.
That should be my sources, but you know,
I'm done.
Twitter's been my sources, the streets have been my sources. Everywhere else.
Let me just see at time of recording if we do have anything up. Like,
Any updates?
Health Secretary,
Didn't
Mad
one of the
Panel.
health people actually get coronavirus? Our health minister had
Got coronavirus.
Coronavirus.
It's getting real.
You know what? You're saying this, but like black people, I know black people especially, for years, we've used humour as a way to deal with darkness.
It's very, very,
But with
very
darkness,
true.
I think about some of the stuff like
That's how
our
we get through
parents
it.
went through
Yeah.
with like the civil,
For
when
real.
they talk about the war and they
Genocide.
laugh sometimes. You're like, but my guy, people got killed
People
in war.
died.
And they just laugh, but now I get it. Like, we're out
Yeah.
here laughing, but we're also low-key worried. Well, at least me.
I just want the whole thing to finish. You just say, do you know what? All right, everyone can go back to normal now.
bro, you
Bruh.
sure? That's how you feel?
That is exactly how I feel.
I was gonna ask everyone, like, so how, like, what,
Yeah.
what does coronavirus mean to you? Like, what has it done to you? Like,
Oh,
how
what's
was
it done?
How has it personally affected
I'm ready
you?
for this
Oh,
question, but I
wow.
want you to start
But,
first.
exactly. Have we even introduced you though?
Yes, we have.
Okay, cool. Go
So
on.
again, I'm Chantelle. I am an actress.
Whoop, whoop.
It's a great time to be an actress right now, as a lot of actors and a lot of people in the theatre industry, especially hospitality, we've been hit the hardest. So, of course, a lot of scares have happened and people are not coming out, right? And you have a lot, especially in the theatre, you have a lot of people who are over a particular age, majority, let's be open, 40 plus, watching shows. And where I work is that situation where people started to drift away and protect themselves, and I totally get it. If you're
Isolate
a higher
or whatnot,
isolate.
yeah.
I didn't
If
even
you're
think
at
about
risk
it like
in
that.
general.
Yeah.
My guy, I have bills to pay. Do you know what I mean?
Tickets need to be bought.
Tickets needs to be sold, and it's
The
based-
audience needs to be full.
it's literally on the basis of if the building makes profit, and if no one's coming, then done. So that's restaurants gone, the theatres are gone. So, and it's tricky because Boris was just like, oh, stay away. They didn't close it down. They said
Yeah.
stay away.
Right.
Now
But you know
apparently
why they did
it's to
that?
do with
Urging you.
insurance.
Exactly.
So they don't want to pay off like the theaters, the like hospitality places, insurances. So like stay away. So people now are
That
forced
makes
to not go
sense.
into that reserve of money that could help out people like myself. So the hard part is a lot of people in this day and age, it still confuses me in London. Ooh, why do we have 0-hour contracts still?
Yeah.
Casual contracts are still a thing. Not even minimum 5 hours to ensure, but here we are. So now I'm currently without job. It's tough.
Coronavirus.
Coronavirus, now people are out here figuring out benefits. They've even made a special benefits now on the government website for people who are self-employed or like are in my position. Like,
so when does that go like into full effect? Like when would
it's
you start
already
to
started.
So you
Yeah,
so they start
not-
plugging the
they
They
accounts
started
started
like
plugging the account, people
literally-
are applying.
okay.
You need the money yesterday.
Yeah.
So you can't
Yeah.
have a 7-day waiting period for us to do
Yeah.
the no.
Do you know what? That gives me a little bit of faith in this.
Even
But
you
we
know,
don't. But the thing is, a
government-
lot of these benefits don't come out immediately because there's stuff like universal credit that apparently takes like 5 weeks.
But you know
And then
that
you-
I was watching like I was at work, but I was obviously watching the news instead of doing my work. Yeah.
Coronavirus.
Why am I at work? That's the question. But anyway.
Oh, we gonna get to that coronavirus.
But so I'm there watching it, and they're gonna. I think they've even removed that 5-day, 7-day waiting period for universal credit for all the different things that you have to apply for your benefits or whatever it is, because really and
It's
truly
tricky.
you need the money.
Yeah, like
Because now what's
You need
happening?
the- now.
Landlords now. Here, I feel bad for landlords because like
they don't get the money no more.
we who are tenants can't
Pay
pay the rent, and I'm also in a position where my landlord gave me a notice 2 months ago to vacate the property, but now he's forced to not evict me.
Yeah,
Right?
the government have said
And the
that
government
to
have said
evict
that, but
rent.
now it's just like people are gonna have to owe them back in 3 months if this lasts this long. So if what they've done is gonna be like a debt. So not only if people have loans,
Now
Yeah,
that's
have
shit.
a debt, you have debt
Debt.
to pay off to the bank, then
Debt
you
to
have
pay
student
your-
loan to pay off, then debt to the landlord.
Yeah.
I honestly thought that they'll do this thing in a way that, okay, everyone for 3 months or however long this lasts, no one has to worry about the money. Like, we just start again when we're back
like,
on.
we'll just erase it.
Yeah, like, don't worry about it, like-
capitalism ain't gonna work.
Is it
Ain't
not
gonna work
gonna work?
ever.
Coronavirus!
You know where that could work? That could probably work in like China or somewhere where they really control your.
The
See,
thing is,
America-
this country has enough money to do that in my
Do we?
mind.
Nah.
Because
We do, but we're not
we
equal.
do, but we're not equal. And it's weird because out here I'm seeing in America allegedly, like I read the article about Americans apparently per household they wanted to give like £2,000 for certain people, $2,000, sorry. And I'm just like, where are they getting this money? Then I realized they paid for healthcare. So, they, so you know what, we have
That's
NHS.
on that. That's on that.
So maybe we're lucky.
Yeah.
But it's a tough time out here. I really do feel for a lot of people who are especially self-employed because they don't even have statutory sick pay. So they have the sick pay. If you claim that you've got
And even
corona,
temporary workers and stuff, like, you are not being backed by your company at all.
No. Like if you have coronavirus and you call you're self-isolating, that's like £90
It's not everyone out here
for
got
2
coronavirus.
weeks.
If you just
No,
got
but-
symptoms or someone in your family has symptoms,
Do you know what?
you're
I believe that I
self-isolating.
had coronavirus.
We'll get to that. And we'll get to that.
I believe I had a coronavirus.
And on that note,
But
so what does like coronavirus like mean to you, and how has it affected you?
It didn't mean anything to me until I had to cancel my holiday to my spiritual hometown, Amsterdam. I love it so much. I'm not Dutch. Yeah, let's not get it twisted. But I love the people and I love the facilities that they host. And so I was very eager, I'd been through a stressful period. I needed to ease
Honestly,
myself
you had planned
in
that
the
trip for
for
months.
months.
that means your
And I was,
Airbnb was lit.
Not even
You had
Airbnb.
everything.
Just the like planning, the organization of bringing
I brought
bringing
people
melanated
together.
people together and
Damn.
to actually put money to a trip.
Damn.
The effort that takes. I've not successfully done it before in my life.
I
It was
mean-
about to be my first successfully planned trip, and I was
Group trip.
gassed.
It was a
She was
group.
I was
gone.
gassed. Coronavirus.
Coronavirus.
Oh my god.
Then everyone started shutting their borders.
Same.
Then Italy just went pim.
Yo, Italy though.
Italy did what it did. Germany went where it went. Spain went where it went. France went. Then before you knew it, Netherlands said, nah.
Europe was
We're
out.
closing up shop.
Yeah, do you know what? No, I was stubborn. I was gonna hold on to the end. And my mum, every few days she would ask, "Oh, Linda, you still going there?" And I was still going where? Oh, to that place that we're going to. I was like, "Oh, the Netherlands? Yeah, we are still going
We
to the
just-
Netherlands. Absolutely,
Yeah,
I'm still
up
going."
until Monday, we
literally,
were still going
yeah.
to the Netherlands. 3 days ago, we were still going.
Until I went on there just to check in it, because
Until
obviously
the-
everyone's chatting.
That's the trip. You were
Yeah.
doing it. Oh, that's deep. They've been
Yeah,
planning for a
we've been
bit.
planning.
This is
Coronavirus.
from last year. We were talking about it last year. At the beginning, she's like, "Come true." Wow.
It wasn't until they closed.
No, it was the thing where
Everything
I'd
that
now started checking, and I said, "Oh, Netherlands is going into lockdown."
It's hard out here. Like, you know what? And the Netherlands would be the great time to relax right now. Like, I heard there was lineups at cafes.
yeah.
We don't have that accessibility here for certain people who do participate.
And what else does moving on?
So I was planning a trip to my beloved country. I'm still planning it because in my mind, in my heart, today, the 19th of March, I am still going to Uganda. Y'all can laugh. Y'all can laugh.
Let it go.
These times, all unnecessary travel
Has been restricted.
has been urged to be abandoned.
See the word urge.
I love it.
I
The
love it.
government has urged us.
Because you can't tell me that I can't go. I'm still going to go, but you're urging me. You're trying to tell me, please don't go. Please don't
Yeah.
go.
But Uganda's going to block you, eh? They've already closed schools. It's
Do you know
done.
what? This means
That's
so
it.
much to her. She's still gonna go.
Oh, yeah.
On my life.
Good.
But what
Yeah.
if you have the virus and you cause everyone? Do you know there was a London man who went to, apparently in Rwanda? He's got coronavirus.
Is that the
A
one that
London
gave
Ugandan.
Rwanda?
Yeah. There's a London
I didn't hear it.
Ugandan.
I didn't hear it.
A London
Yeah.
Ugandan is in Rwanda with coronavirus.
Coronavirus.
And watch him be from the same tribe as us. And we have to disclaim, I don't know who you are. How dare you? So if you want to be that person that's in your
That takes
bloodstream.
No, but listen,
No, but you have to.
you have
what's
to go
called?
for mandatory 14 days of quarantine
Yeah,
upon arrival.
This is everyone coming in.
Okay.
And my ticket hasn't been cancelled. So, as long as my ticket doesn't get cancelled, I am going to get on the plane. You understand?
The persistence.
Until the refund touch my account, I am still flying. I'm still flying. Coronavirus. You're not going to take every joy from me this year. No, I'm not going to allow you to. Amsterdam was too much for me. Yeah, blood in my eyes. Do you know how much? Do you know how much pain? Yeah. You know that little sheet to the online form to try and get a refund from KLM.
Yeah.
Blood
I did
in
that just today.
my
Or
eyes.
yesterday. I was just filling that form.
Oh.
Oh.
I put it off every day. I came to the form
Hurtful.
and I said, nah,
Yeah.
nah, man. No, I'll come back. Cause nah.
Oh, that's
Only
painful.
today did I let them cancel. You know how they say, "Are you happy to cancel?"
Yeah.
Right.
Clicking this button will
To
cancel
click the
this
button.
flight.
Blood in my eyes.
Yeah, it's gone now.
But in terms of what the virus means to me, it means kind of nothing, because it
Wow.
hasn't. Yeah, like I'm gonna keep it honest. Like, I just see it like the media. When I see the media in general just chatting, I just feel like there's something bigger at work, and there's a lot of distractions at the moment. I feel like that's a major distraction for something. But I'm a bit of a conspiracist
Okay,
theory, and
I hear that.
you know, so yeah. But what does it mean?
Coronavirus.
Coronavirus!
It's getting real.
It's getting closer. It's creeping into our lives.
Really shouldn't be recording this right now.
People are scared.
You guys, are you happy
Please
to be potential contacts?
100%.
Listen, 100%.
I should have probably asked you that before we started.
It's alright.
We
Life's
in
in it.
We're both
We
deep in it
moved-
now.
we already walked on the tube. I've already been through the tube of God knows
Oh
where.
goodness.
And I'm in the area where apparently the rich are getting it like mad.
Yeah, they are. That's the
The
highest.
higher areas are my
contracting,
areas.
infecting
Kensington,
Chelsea,
Westminster.
them and there.
Lambeth is kicking.
Lambeth is not full
Lambeth.
of rich.
Southwark?
I mean,
No,
yeah,
it
kind
is.
of
It kind of
rent
is.
prices is mad.
It's a
in
bit mad
London,
though,
yeah,
you know.
it's-
Do you know what I mean? Yeah.
That's the one, isn't it?
Wandsworth. Do you know what's really low right now?
Where?
somewhere here in Southeast. What's the council?
Of course.
We're in
It's
Church-
like
Actually,
30.
I have the
Greenwich
stats.
Council.
I think it's 33 for Southwark.
For the stats today, I actually
For Greenwich is like
screenshotted
19,
this.
I think.
Right now, the lowest is Redbridge,
That's
Where the Ross is that?
Kingston,
That's where we went to Shisha that time.
May.
Oh, those of Ilford sides.
Barking.
S6.
Listen, ladies, Barking and Dagenham is 14 people. All the people who have wealth have been travelling around my conspiracy, and the areas that seem to be more expensive in zone 1 to 2, where they all live, they're all coming back there and they're spreading it. I saw people walking
that
with
is
their
the
kids
case,
with
innit?
chest. So, with their kids on the street, like, oh, so darling, what are you doing next week? Oh my God. Like, I'm like talking like birds. I'm like, why are you walking with chest? Your kid is out here. They could get sick. I'm out here because I have to get my prescription. I don't have a choice. But people are so comfortable. Now they're all gone off the street. So, it's mad. But coronavirus don't affect you at all.
No.
Really. Even knowing that this could be like the seasonal flu in future.
Because, do you know why? Because I honestly I feel like, now that I've read the symptoms, I feel like in December, I had coronavirus.
But okay, let's talk about that because I got sick with the maddest flu.
Yeah, that one.
I got hit. My sister had the flu where I was in bed with the fevers and the sweats for 2 days.
that one. That one.
And I didn't know
Yeah.
what was going on.
Yeah. Are we talking about a normal flu?
It wasn't
No, it wasn't normal. That's the point.
I can
It wasn't
only recall-
normal.
I can only recall having the flu once in my
I
life.
recall how I felt that time, and I remember
Maybe the
speaking
ancestors
to
were
many
popping.
people. I remember speaking to a lot of people at that time, and everyone was like, "No, this is different from a flu." And I remember taking, for the first time, I'm rarely sick, so I'm rarely used to taking medication. I was
Yeah.
like, "Do you know what? Because I'm dying out here. I legit thought I was going to die, and I was like, a flu killed me."
I've had something like
Yeah.
that before as well.
So the symptoms were like, remember, I couldn't breathe. My chest, I couldn't breathe. I couldn't breathe at all.
That's mad because I was fine with breathing, but I had fever, the sweats. I was sweating out shirts like mad.
Yeah, I had the
headache.
sweats. Mad
my
headaches.
eyes were hurting.
Same.
Like, my sister was joking. She's like, maybe we got coronavirus earlier on. And I was like, no, there's no way, just because of the spread time. But it makes you think.
No, it makes sense.
It makes you
Do you know
think.
what I linked this to? 5G.
5G.
The only reason I'm saying this, of all the conspiracy theories around coronavirus,
Right.
of all of them, and there's many, not many, I only know 3 or 4.
Yeah.
The one that sticks with me, is the one of where was 5G first rolled out? Does anyone know?
I'm not
Like-
aware.
No, I'm not aware either.
In Wuhan.
You'll stop it. There's actually like.
That's why it sticks with me, because I said, okay,
Not live.
No.
For
okay,
real.
that's enough. That's all I need to know. And
What
then they
in the
say
bird
basically
box?
they I don't really know the info like that, but you know the whole what even is it? You know the signal or whatever the phone is sending out on a 5G
Yeah.
network.
Yeah.
Obviously, it's gonna affect a biological being, right?
Right.
So
Oh.
our
This is probably the most quite a
biology is being, affected because of the radiation or whatever it is when the signals are going, yeah? So it weakens your immune system is what I'm saying.
5G weakens your immune system.
Right.
You heard it here live on Poet Black Period the podcast.
Listen.
5G weakens your immune
That's the
system.
only
Coronavirus.
conspiracy. No. Conspiracy. That's the only conspiracy that I'm like, okay.
It's holding
And then now
some
you
weight.
guys you're saying you were sick or whatnot last year. This thing,
I
5G's
was
been being
sick
rolled out
I
since
was sick in
2019.
beginning Feb. When I came back from my trip to New York, I was sick then. So, and my sister was sick in January. Like, she was sick with like a
Like
flu.
this is not
Just
cold.
your
We're talking
standard-
about the mad
But then
flu.
she got
Yeah.
hit. When she got hit
Mhm,
hard,
mhm.
it was end of Jan, beginning Feb. Like, when she came back, I think because she didn't have travel insurance, she's like, let me get sick in the UK. Do you know what I mean? But then,
Yeah.
like, it hit her hard in the UK when we were back, and then boom, it hit me.
I mean, the only reason I'm bringing this up because you're both saying you were sick very, very recently with mad flu.
Yeah.
So I'm like, alright, cool. This kind of lining up with my.
But because I remember, it was one of those things. Yeah, anyone you talk to, someone that they knew
or themselves were directly affected by this mad cold or this mad flu, and it was hitting everyone in the exact
I'm
same
expecting
severity.
way more, but obviously if it's
So
corona,
we all
let it be
had
corona.
coronavirus.
Stop it.
Nah,
We did
man.
not. I honestly.
No, but bear in mind, the people, what the media isn't doing, they're not reporting just as many people are getting sick. So many people are getting better. Do you know what I mean?
Amen.
After like a week or two of cleaning out their bodies with water, vitamins, everything, I'm telling you, people are getting better. And if I think about it, that is how I cured my coronavirus.
Wait, what do you mean?
You
people
did
are
not
getting better?
have coronavirus. It wasn't.
So
that.
I was drinking this tonic, like you know,
I mean,
ginger, lemon,
In
everything.
the news, what do you mean?
In the
What do you mean?
In the news, they're only saying, "Oh yeah, the new death toll today is, you know."
Yeah, this many people have got it. This many people have
so many
died,
people have
but
died
not how
today.
many people have recovered, and it's
Yeah.
fear mongering.
Exactly.
right.
And that is why I think that there's a bigger agenda here, because why do you need to fear, like, why do you need to create this much widespread panic?
To be honest, I swear the people writing the thing are afraid themselves, nah?
No, but also there's
But you need some kind of responsibility when it comes to these kind of things. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I feel you.
Like if you deep it, I remember hearing the numbers, like the death toll in terms of percentage, it like kills off basically 3% of the infected population.
Yeah.
But if you compare that to like stuff like Ebola, that was killing off 67% of infected.
Yes.
Do you know what I mean?
Yes. Oh.
So like, what do you feel like the future looks like for us then?
Guys,
the way
so
Corona's
I
going.
was on the phone to a cousin in Italy, and he's in. So walk one, he's in Milan. First of all, you lot, they're laughing at us British people buying toilet paper like mad. Like,
Of course.
they still
They didn't even panic buy out there.
They didn't.
They did. No one's
Not
panicking.
one thing.
They're literally singing songs out the balcony.
Yeah, do you know what I mean? Vibes.
I can't. That's another thing.
DJ
This
sets,
panic
people
buying.
doing like fitness things for people on
It's
the
just us and the
rooftops.
US, huh?
Yeah.
That did panic buying.
Stupid.
Panic.
The populations with the most stupid inhabitants.
But sorry, you were saying.
If we're giving it 100.
But he's saying like it's been I think 6 weeks now, and they're gonna be next week. They're gonna be like how we are now. So how we're reducing to like having minimal movement.
Yeah.
They're gonna be free to go out a little bit more, and
Yeah.
they're trying to bring it back into society week by week. He's
That's
hoping
like
by
what-
like the end of next week.
That's like what Yinka in China did basically as well. Like
Oh.
they obviously were locked off ridiculously for like months. Well, not months for
You
like a
was
month.
locked up in China.
I don't know if you know Yinka.
No,
Do you
but
know
I
Yinka?
feel bad
But
for this
yeah,
Yinka. This
so
The
obviously-
pod now knows Yinka. Hello, Yinka.
Hello, Yinka. Don't know you, but hang out in there if you stay healthy, bruv. It's rough
Hope
out
everything's
here.
all
Yeah,
right.
no, it's not in Wuhan or anything.
No,
like,
but
bare
still,
bare south.
look, we're not in Wuhan, but here we are.
Coronavirus.
True. True, but yeah, so he got locked down, and obviously was teaching from home.
Wow.
He teaches English out there.
What, like on like Skype kind of thing?
Yeah, whatever system they
Okay.
use. And someone would come to your apartment and check your temperature every day, and you had to get your temperature checked before you go to the shops or pharmacy, wherever you left for.
Efficiency.
But that was just for, I guess, a month and a bit.
Mm-hmm.
And now they've loosened it up. You can go out. They still check your temperature, but everything else is normal.
Calm.
And obviously, everyone more or less stays at home. You don't have to go to work yet, because you know.
Yeah.
But that's them recovering from the lockdown.
stress,
Do you know what I
yeah.
mean? So it's kind of like you were saying with Italy, how next week they're gonna.
They're gonna try and slowly induce
Yeah.
it. bring it
Meanwhile,
back.
we're not even gonna have the aggressive step of even locking down in the first place. We're just here doing.
Well, the
we
army is
urge
coming
you
next
to-
week.
to do what?
WhatsApp is telling me
don't walk
different.
around. You can't order us anything.
Yeah.
Government
Oh.
hasn't ordered.
Honestly, you can come out your house, you walk around. Okay, maybe if you see an army person, it's gonna be like 20 minutes outside your house. And what are they gonna do now? Do you know what I mean?
Mate,
There's
this
not-
is like Big Brother, like 1984, George Orwell, like.
But you see the difference between here in the West and in China, where the lockdown system and the fact that people, like the Chinese people, are naturally more obedient to rules. Do you know what I mean? Set in place. And yeah, like
I mean-
for example,
I
you
mean,
had
it will
English.
be enforced. That's what it means. It's not about we
Yeah,
know
but-
it's gonna
yeah,
be
it's
enforced.
Okay,
like,
they're
enforced, but
forced on
the,
it.
if we see military saying do this, I've never had
No,
that
we
before.
know the British public.
I've never had
we
that
are,
before,
Agreed.
so I'm not gonna be afraid. Whereas out there, they may, know
Exactly,
what
and
it's
that's
like.
why that lockdown situation went very much smoothly for them. And even before that, if they were sick, they would wear masks anyway. Like a lot of the things that we are starting to adapt in the Western world, they do this shit
I was gonna
anyway.
say,
Do you know what I
the stuff
mean?
we're learning to do.
We're learning from they
doing
been
it.
did it, and that is why they are now moving on, and they're
you
so
almost-
efficient. With the West, honestly, I don't know if we're gonna see the end of coronavirus until
Not in the West, anyway. I know it'll be finished in the East.
It'll be finished in the East.
It's already finishing up. Like, people are in
South Korea
Wuhan.
is so efficient.
And then they brought the numbers back.
Yeah.
Yeah,
They
Wuhan's
enforce
happening
serious-
now.
Yeah.
They just said on the news today that they're starting to let people walk out for fresh air.
You see?
There you go.
There you go.
Just stay in your house. It's really not that deep.
Meanwhile, over here, we're still not
I
taking
mean-
any of the serious steps.
No.
that
We're
need
out
to
here
be taken.
reading or doing a podcast.
We're panic buying. Well, I'm not panic buying, but people are
panic
panic buying. So, being in massive queues together when social distancing should be a thing,
We're
and
still in the pub.
we're still in the
We're
pub.
still in the restaurant.
Listen,
hey.
I was in the post office.
If these places were not closed,
Yeah.
if the football matches were not cancelled, people would still be there.
Yeah.
In fact, one of our friends, shout out to Daniel, yeah.
Shout out Daniel.
He works in one of the places that does bingo. So he's in contact with loads of seniors.
Daniel.
He was saying, yeah, you still got the seniors pulling up to bingo every day,
Oh, bless.
risking it all for
No,
a
but
£10.
Do you know what though? Isolation, loneliness is a killer in older people, mate. The reason people are going out as well. Again, loneliness in the UK, especially in older groups, is a killer. Like, people
Yeah.
die from loneliness.
That is true.
So people are going out the house playing their bingo.
You've been lonely, what, 2 days?
Stop it! Listen, and let me tell you about being in isolation. When I still lived
We haven't
in
even
Toronto,
been in isolation yet.
Bruv.
They haven't even announced
Okay,
that you
social
old people should be in
distancing
isolation.
by
They've
nature.
said it 2 days, bro. 2 days.
Nah, but hear me out. Hear me out. People don't know how to deal with that here. So in Toronto, I remember years ago before leaving, we had a huge like snowstorm situation to a point where Toronto went blackout. There was no electricity for loads of areas. And it was week before Christmas. Can you imagine?
Oh.
So power came back. When was it?
Christmas Eve?
Christmas Eve for me in my area. Some people still didn't have power. I was like, it's a Christmas miracle. God had my back. And we had gas as well. Shouts out to people who have gas in their homes right now because I had a blackout today in where I live. And that's a relatively alleged rich area. I don't believe that, but we moved. So, like, even then, when I was in that isolation situation by social distancing.
How many days?
7 days.
Okay.
A week. The first 2 days are hard. It's like when you give up, when you say, "Oh, I'm getting off Instagram for like
I think it
for
honestly
a month."
depends who it is.
For 2 days.
Of
No, the
course
first 2 days
anything-
because
of course
humans are
anything's hard.
social. Humans are social. We're meant to interact. We're meant to talk to
Of
people and all
course,
that.
of
But
course.
people don't know what to do themselves.
We
So,
haven't even, but you've not been told to isolate yet. You've
But it's
not
mad.
been told to socially distance yet.
Yeah, we have.
And you,
yeah, we have.
how many days?
A couple of days.
Couple days, mate. Some
So-
people on day
so-
3.
So
Coronavirus!
It's doing a lot. But this is a safety measure that people need to understand. We have to reduce the curve. If you all want to go on the streets, a lot more people are going to die. What can you
bro,
get
so
from
why are
that?
you not at home?
I'm out here because I thought, you know what, the last round before lockdown. You know, the last
on
social
this
interaction.
19th of March, I'm pretty sure we should all be at home, socially distanced.
But that's the thing, and also the government took too long to step in and do measures.
that's
That's what happened with Italy, and look what happened. Italy's like, guys, don't joke about, because like, look how we were. We're like, oh, we're fine. And Milan's a very busy city as well.
That's
And then
my
boom,
thing for
it
why.
hit people.
That's my thing for why it's not being taken seriously here in general. Period.
Mm.
Because 2 weeks ago it was only 10 deaths or 30
Yeah,
deaths or
yeah.
only a language. You know
Yeah.
that type of I ain't serious.
Very blasé.
Even Trump himself, very
Yes.
this Chinese thing is gonna go this
The
way.
man
You know
is
what I mean?
this
so
Chinese
racist
thing.
and
So-
xenophobic. I can't.
That's another conversation.
Honestly.
But the fact that it wasn't serious.
Yeah.
And these times, shout out to Yinka again, was putting on his story, you guys, this is really not a joke. This is when we didn't really know how peak it was in China.
Yeah,
you guys like dead ass.
But they didn't also,
Seriously.
but also the Chinese government didn't really say how bad it is.
Yeah, but
Like,
that's again another conversation.
That's-
But from when we knew, all right, boom, this is how bad it is. This is how many has now died. This is how many cases we now have.
Yeah.
And then this is now we're gonna lock down. And then from when we were getting 1 or 2 cases elsewhere, governments everywhere should have been like, all right, boom, this is okay.
And that's
Let's
what's
figure out.
beautiful
Did
about
they-
Africa as a continent, because a lot of them are stepping up now.
They're only
And-
fortunate with our hindsight. They've seen it come into Italy within 2 weeks and do what it did in Italy.
But then also the UK, that should have also triggered the UK be like,
My point.
right.
The delay of it. Now it's like, all right, so 2 weeks ago, these were steps that should have been taken. You've made up the decision over the weekend when, 50 people died overnight or something on Friday night last week?
Wow.
That's when it got serious. Then 20 people died overnight, then you want to close schools.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Now it's like, oh, we're reacting. We're not being proactive. We're just, oh, shit. Okay.
Because we live it, it's about money at the end of the day.
Yeah.
So that's
Listen.
what, now I'm like, I don't care anymore. 'Cause
Yeah, I proper
do you
don't
know what I
care.
mean?
Yeah.
Like you said, at-risk people, I'm not at risk. I'm still at work because of my employer. I'm
So
not
can
gonna
we
go
t-
into it too tough because these people will watch. I've thought about it. But I'm still at work. You want me to take a virus that these people won't take serious. I'm taking it serious because I know I could carry it from you.
Yeah.
God forbid.
God
And take it
forbid!
to all them at-risk
God
people at work.
forbid!
It's so true.
I know this. I tried to stay at home. You told me to come in.
Oh,
That is
dear.
childish, by
If
the
it
way.
comes, there's people isolating
Yeah.
Yeah.
in the workplace
Yeah.
because of family members showing symptoms.
Wow.
Literally.
So we already know the virus is there. Do you know? Does that make?
Yeah,
It's
yeah.
circulating. So it's one of them. Clearly, no one's taking this seriously. I see people walking in the street. We're still going to bingo. We're still.
It's unfortunate though, because it's also in the situation of like, with me, for example, me and my sister have not panic bought because number one, you don't need to,
Yeah.
Plenty.
and number two, I'm already broke, so I'm living that life like
Yeah.
pasta's there, tin beans. Y'all flexing on beans now. I've been on that 35 tin can beans for a while now. I'm glad you're catching on. But the toilet paper thing, if people are panic buying, and I'm like, that's not necessary. So now I'm having to force myself to go out when it's not as busy, which is a positive for me because again, that whole thing about
I tried
you're more
I
in
tried
rest.
that
But
last
now,
night. The 24-hour shops are all not 24-hour anymore.
of course not, because they're trying to refill. But you know the good thing though, this is gonna give people jobs. So like, yesterday I put in an application for Asda temporarily.
Most places are on a recruitment freeze because you don't know. Like for example, at
Yes.
my
Yeah,
company, we're now in a recruitment freeze because
Nice.
we don't know if we'll be able to take the hit to afford to pay you
Yeah.
for this job.
Yeah.
So we can't hire you yet.
That's why you
Sad
don't need to go to
times.
supermarkets. All the jobs that people, and I've been saying this for years as a kid, even from when I was young, sorry. All the jobs that everyone used to shit on and make jobs, like jokes on, sorry. Like bin men and bin people who clean bins. People who
They've
work
been
in
making
supermarkets.
money,
Where are
you know.
going with this?
Listen to me. All those people
I'm
now,
listening.
they have jobs still. We don't. I'm still out here
Yeah,
struggling, but I'm
with-
just
at
like...
the risk of also contracting.
Yeah, but that's the thing. People have to do something on the front lines. It's like doctors. Like, shouts out to doctors and nurses who are risking
I
their
saw my
lives because
first
that in
paramedic
itself
today.
is like,
She was
what?
in full green, like ambulance
Whoa.
outfit.
Wait,
She's just
why?
walking home, like
Oh.
Oh.
as in she looked tired after whatever
Yeah.
shift she's done.
Yeah.
And she's
Oh.
just in Eltham.
But here's the thing about jobs at the moment right now. We have to take into consideration that this isn't just like something light, it's going to disrupt everyone's life in
Everyone's
one
been
point or another.
disrupted.
Do you know what I mean? It's one of those things that we're gonna come back and look in a few years and be like, wow,
There's gonna
the
be exams
whole
on this.
world went on pause. This is the
Yeah.
first time
There's
that
gonna be
something like this
exams
has
on
happened ever. This is basically what
1918.
19.
War, like
this
war.
generation.
Yeah.
For everyone who's, because that World War II generation is more or less.
Exactly. I mean to
gone.
say is
But
in
for this generation, of everyone who's alive, this is the first time we're having a situation where we may now be
A
rationing.
pandemic.
We
was our
may
first
it's our
one.
first
yeah, but this is my
pandemic.
point. As in, this is the first
Global
time
pandemic.
that there's been a global thing where the world has gone on pause. That wasn't in the case of war. Do you know what I mean?
It's biological
Oh, yeah.
warfare, though. This is a biological warfare now. It's not even about.
Oh, talk to him, girl.
But
Coronavirus.
biological warfare is a different.
America,
enemy.
we see you in them
Is that really part of
laboratories.
The conspiracy, yeah.
Yeah, that's
That- there's another one I heard about, and it's like they transfer viruses from like apparently some doctor transferred virus from Canada
Okay,
to
not
Wuhan.
Canada.
And they were doing like testing and stuff.
Yeah, but that
They
makes
weren't
sense because they
transferring
do.
from-
But
They
they
do that.
that usually.
Yeah,
That's
they've
the
been
thing.
did that.
So someone's saying something.
how they
got
spread
broken
Ebola.
along the way, and then bloop.
I heard a really bizarre one that they were doing testing on either things in America and then it was transferred to Wuhan, and then they were experimenting with these animals and injecting loads of
That's
things
the
into
one I
them,
heard.
and then instead of killing the animals once they're done whatever they needed to do,
They
they
put them in the market.
they actually either released them or some, and then people ate them, and then from there those people
Wow.
got them. I don't know.
But also, there's also this circumstance of like in China, there was also this thing of wet
Food
markets.
markets, yeah.
Wet food markets exist. So when SARS happened, it was rooted back to a wet food market, and that is basically where you have all sorts of wildlife. So you have wildlife, and then like you have your pork, your chicken, and all that
All
together.
animals, though,
All
in
animals,
Asia.
literally.
Like-
Bats are put cages on top of the other, and they're like whatever the sweat or blood or whatever goes into these other animals because of poor conditions.
It's a
Why does it
People eat
always
it.
go back to bats? So
Because
we
so-
have a problem.
No, so bats have, not to freak anyone out, 1.3 million viruses.
So
And then
why
we
don't
only
we
know
kill all
3,000.
bats?
Bruv.
Alright,
Now hold on a minute.
hear me out. When I say kill all bats, yeah.
You can't.
You
You can't.
can't.
And I'll just end it there.
Period.
Alright.
Like,
Point blank.
you need
Period.
an ecosystem. That's what I'm saying. Let's kill all bees. Then all the flowers.
Yeah, but
will
bees-
have an effect on something.
They
But
do.
Sure.
they'll have an effect on something. But say, for example, if you were to kill all bees, okay, cool, wildlife is dead, basically. Do
Yeah.
you know what I mean? Bats, what are they feeding on?
Touching my
We'll
face
research
like
on
it's
that and we'll
not
get
out
back
here.
to you on that.
Alright, do you know what? Once y'all talk, I'm gonna research what the world would look like
All
without
I
bats.
know is bats have. I've watched so many documentaries. Like I'm a documentary head. 1.3 million alleged viruses in them, and we only know 3,000.
Do you know that?
That
That's
is
another
insane.
thing, though,
And
like,
a lot of zoo.
Kill the bats,
There's
y'all.
a term for it. For like
zoologists.
no, it's a type of tsunamic, or I can't remember the name, but something to do along those lines in the sense of like a human virus and a virus from an animal mixed together to make this ultimate bad thing. And it was bound to happen, to be honest. It was bound to happen.
I've done my research. The bats need to stay.
The bats need.
Why?
Oh, go on, tell us why the bats need to.
Basically,
stay.
bats like bees. Basically, bats are bigger bees
Wow.
in that they like literally help to
So
pollinate.
Everything on this earth has a reason, my guy.
Okay, but mosquitoes doesn't have a reason, and that's the kind of energy I was
Oh,
thinking
my God.
towards. That's why if we now kill all the bats, that we kill all the mosquitoes, and then we get rid of the problem. But obviously, I just did my light research, light googling.
Like
We can't kill the bats. Alright, so it's gonna be more mysterious
But it's
diseases.
because a bat. The reason that Ebola happened is because a bat ate from a fruit. A certain
No,
fruit tree
that
and
was
bit
the
into it.
Americans.
Oh, I'm out of that conversation.
It was the Americans. I fear no one but God. It was the Americans. I wasn't born yesterday. You people are bad. Next subject.
I honestly, from my understanding and how I look at science, it literally a bat ate a fruit, and then the fruit came.
See, do you know how much I
into
hate
the
that
body.
phrase now? Let's look
No,
at the
but
science. You
the
know the way
sci-
Boris has said that so much this week, yeah?
Oh.
I'm so over it. What scientist? What tells you your scientist is better than an Italian scientist?
Yep.
It's better than a South Korean, a Chinese scientist. Why are we
Facts.
waiting for these new scientists to give us information this week?
Yo, wait.
That's
Where
the
have they
I was
thing.
been?
What I was true. Because I was getting I'm getting my science from like what they're saying on the news in
Which
China.
is no, absolutely.
I
Wherever
don't
your
know.
science coming from, why is this science taking days to figure out what we need to do when we know what Wuhan had to do?
Sheesh. Sheesh.
Well, I guess, you know,
I tell you,
completely
having it.
different system, completely different
I keep
environment,
bringing
completely
it back,
different.
but nah.
No, but it's
Sorry.
very true. We have in general, I think if the West just put their pride down and realize, yo, we are not
Honestly.
the best. We are not the best and it's
We're
okay.
all the same.
The whole world been knew that the West isn't the best. Yeah? The best is the East. We are no, if you think about it, we are
East is the
500
East.
we are 500 or 300 years behind the East. They are so
Oh,
efficient. Yeah, they are
Wow.
so
Yeah,
efficient.
that's true.
Okay,
In the
yeah.
way that they run their systems, fair enough. There's going to be pros and cons.
And
Yeah,
like their ancient stuff.
That's
is
a
more or less
conversation
more
I don't know.
They're more or
prevalent
less.
today.
They're more or less living a modernized version of their ancient systems, which worked brilliantly, and they still work
Not
brilliantly now.
because shouts out to my people protesting in Hong Kong. I see you. I see your no. 'Cause you can't they're living under communist society.
And that's
Again,
why I said
I'm not
pros and
judging
cons.
anyone's
Pros
society
and
or whatever,
cons.
but there's pros and cons in every society.
Pros and
But
cons.
you can't act like it's fully like blessed out.
But
there.
Not
they have
fully,
more
but it's
of a-
not
they
fully.
have way more of a pro over
Dealing with.
more things than the West does.
Oh, agreed.
That's
Oh,
the fact
100%.
on
Of course, the negatives are
for sure.
super duper negatives, but you know, we can't ignore that the West tries to push the agenda, especially like those
whole
of America.
pride,
We are the best.
colonized,
We are the top of
our
the world.
kingdom.
Yeah, you know what I
United Kingdom
mean?
needs to change that name. That's what I
Because
feel like.
first of all, the United Kingdom isn't even united. Where's Ireland?
Shouts out to Scotland.
Where's
Going through
Ireland?
some stuff right now. Let's
United
not go
Scotland,
there.
do you know what? I really wish that Scotland was independent. I want that for them. Anyway, this is a different topic. We're talking
No,
about
we can go
virus.
into it. Oh, sorry everybody.
It's alright.
I'm a savage.
But United Kingdom, I feel like we need to come together and unite to make a new name.
Oh, that's one of those
Or-
conversations.
Isn't it kind of funny that every country in the world that has like united in front of their thing are so ununited?
If you have to say it, then it's not true. If
Yeah.
I say I'm wise, I'm not wise.
Like United States
If
are
you-
so not united, you
if
know?
you say you're funny, you're not funny.
Do you know what I mean? You have to,
So you're
the
saying
people
you're
have to call you
united.
funny.
We have to say. Do you
Yeah,
know what I
yeah,
mean?
yeah, yeah,
Like, oh look, there's funny Linda. Like,
Yeah,
if you
yeah,
have
yeah.
to force it.
You
then
can't
it's
say,
not
oh,
it.
I am funny. You're not funny
That's no
anymore.
point. So how you say you're united? You're not, because you have to
That's
force
a
it.
perfect point. Yes.
Wow.
Anyway, so we need to change that United
Wow.
Kingdom
So
business.
do not claim. Basically, don't claim what you ain't, guys.
Just
I'm
be
shy.
who you are,
Don't-
and if
I'm
we like
shy.
you, we like you.
And
If we
I'm
don't,
really
we
down
don't.
to earth,
I'm
okay?
down to earth.
Why didn't the street say that? Why do you have to
Oh.
introduce yourself as that? I'm
Hell.
just saying. Back to
Shambles.
coronavirus. How has the virus impacted you, Acayo? And what does it mean
Oh,
to
I
you?
really weaved it into here.
You weaved it
But
in?
But I do think it's silly that, to me, if people saying the government keeps putting out these things, they need to force it on people. Say, this is a problem. We need to pause.
Do you know-
Everyone, don't say if you feel no, because now
do you know
people
why?
are put at risk. Like Chantelle is put at risk. She may not even.
Yeah,
have
I'm
it.
out here
You're at a risk.
at risk at work because the government can't come with chest.
Yeah.
And
because it reduces the risk.
Whereas the lovely workplaces out there who care about their employees and have given them the option to work from home
yeah.
are all working from home.
Yeah.
And maybe looking after their families or whatever. Or if you can do it, do it. I'm in a situation where I can do it, but I can't do it because my employer said don't do it.
I just
It's
wish
mad.
it was more planned out. I wish it was planned
You can't
out.
no, but
But-
if it's something like this that comes, it's literally a monster that just jumped out of the dark.
No,
Yeah,
but also-
we can't plan our
but
reactions,
also- no, no.
but you can't also tell us to. Oh, we're a whole community. This is what we advise.
No, but this is what I'm saying. The thing is how governments work and how situations, right? You have these different departments. Like we have Cobra here, you have MI5, MI, what you know what I
Just
mean?
different, yeah.
And they've definitely had conversations about this behind closed doors. So why did it take you until Saturday to be like, what?
Bear in mind, before all this, the number one thing coming out of number 10 Downing Street, Mr. Boris, so smart, was saying that he wants all of us to get infected, or at least 60% of the
Herd
nation to get
immunity, my
infected,
guy.
to get immunity. Mr. Boris Johnson, I mean,
This how they
everyone that voted Tory, just see. I just want you to look into the eyes of 10 Downing Street and see what you put there. See what you put there.
No,
Because
but
you're
you
all
know what? I'll
cockroaches.
be honest with you. I'll be honest with you.
Coronavirus!
Guys, do you know what? I'm going to add this theory in now. I'm going to add this, not theory, but this conspiracy rather. Have you seen that people have literally posted that every time there is
Yeah.
a voting happening,
you.
Oh,
virus.
Yeah.
so now
Thank
people
you.
are like, right now, how Boris and how people like Donald Trump handle this situation, mate, people will actually vote again for Boris. I will tell you right now. And Donald Trump.
Dude, I saw
If you really think about this, because people are out here getting financial help and all that, but then after the 4 years or the 5-year term that our guy Boris has, and the
Our
next
guy,
person-
whose guy? It's not my guy.
Our
Yeah,
guy,
they're gonna think
well,
they handled
in
it.
a sense, they're gonna think they handled it well,
So
but then
well.
the next person who comes in, hopefully Labour. If that happens,
If the population is shifting,
do you know what I
in
mean?
that
It's-
direction of
if
those
it's
who
just in that
voted
direction,
Remain.
they hold.
Don't you find it really, really weird? And this is what's folding into my idea that there's a greater agenda and there's a greater distraction at play. Why is it that when the celebrities are getting coronavirus, they are announcing it like they've been awarded a Grammy or something? I just want to let everybody know that I have coronavirus.
I'm okay.
And I'm okay.
Oh yeah, so I've got coronavirus. It's not funny, and you know it's real. I was like, my guy, there are people who are poorer and broker than you, who are more sick than you. This is what's angering me. If you are positive and you have money, right, and you look perfectly fine, why are you going and getting tested when there are people who are literally dying in our London city, right, who are poorer and literally sweating in their beds and they still don't know? They still speculating.
Yeah, I was gonna say that.
That's not fair.
It's not
It
fair
doesn't
that
add up.
the
If you're
footballers
sick,
can-
self-isolate, my guy. Idris, you got money to watch all forms of social media or something. I don't know. Relax. Watch your show on Netflix. Or I don't know. You don't need to get tested, babe. If you're positive, deal with it. Like, it's too much. Like, I'm just here, like, I get people are positive and all that, but I'm just, like, worried about our own communities who can't afford the testing. And we need to know, so at least we have
We
a better
don't pay
understanding of where it's spreading, what's happening.
So I heard that testing, it costs about £375
For who?
for a self-testing corona
Where?
thing. I've been seeing people like adding it onto their baskets on the NHS or some kind of website where they can
Wow.
order these at-home coronavirus tests.
Okay, first of all, that's not real. That
Yeah,
can't
can
be
you
real.
Yeah, I want
know.
They're
the
only
bugs
testing
bugs.
in, like, they take a sample of your blood, they send it to the lab or whatever, and then the
Right.
lab will do it.
So where does this
if there is-
happen?
I don't know what that is.
Yeah.
Or, you know,
I've been, you know,
if that's
these
a thing,
Twitter streets.
send me the thing, you know what I mean? Let me look at it, but or give me the link to the NHS website. And you know, but I don't know what that is. Because as far as of right now, they're not testing anyone who's not currently in hospital in a bed.
Okay.
They're not test unless you've met someone, like you came back from Italy, we met up, and I left. I actually have direct contact with someone positive. That's the only people they're testing. You're either
No,
in
but
a
that's
hospital
not
or
true
contact.
because, okay, so great example. There are a lot of people in the theatre world. Not a lot, but there are a few people allegedly who've been tested as positive.
Private is different to NHS.
But that's why I'm like, are they getting privately tested?
Yeah,
or
that-
NH? Because that's why I'm kind of like.
if you're going out of your way, if I pick up myself today and go get tested, I went out of my way, so I didn't get that on NHS. Maybe last week I could have done that, but they changed it because they're obviously underfunded. You know, you need to use the tests wisely or whatever. You know, you need to allocate your resources in the correct place.
Yeah.
But as of right now, if you're getting
So
any
in the
test
UK
and you're not in a bed,
So if you're in the UK, if you're not in a bed
or
and
you've
you've not
direct
come
contact,
from, you get tested. No, so if you've come, if you're someone who's sick, very ill, and in hospital, you'll get tested. Or if you've come from places of high, so like sector 1 or 2 areas that are on the list on the government website,
or you've been in contact
or
with
you've been in contact with someone who has, then you get tested.
Yeah. Other than that,
That's
you will
wild.
never know. You'll just be sick in your until you know it's been your whole time of quarantine and you're still sick. Because you know the idea is you're gonna get better over
Yeah,
that time. When if you're
course.
still sick, then you'll call 111.
Because people are getting
And they're even
depressed.
saying don't call 111 because the phone lines are
They're
busy.
too busy
So
now.
what you're gonna do is you're gonna go onto NHS 111 website. I
website.
went on it just to see, just so
Yeah,
when I am sick,
yeah.
I know what to expect.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh wait, hold on.
Sorry, I'm just.
Wait.
I was so shocked with. There was like probably 10 questions. Just, are you over this age? Yes. Next screen. Are you this? Yes. Are you feeling difficulty breathing? Okay. Yes. Imagine you're sick and ill in your bed. You want to call an
Picking up.
ambulance.
Oh my
Are
God.
you? You know, is your fever high? Yes.
So I shouldn't laugh, but what the fuck?
So- You know,
If
you
you
can't
make
get
it through
tested.
the clicks,
You'll
you're
go,
surviving.
you'll go to the website.
Wow.
You'll
Oh,
be clicking
dear.
yes and no answers for a while.
Oh.
Which will
Questionnaire.
eventually tell you to call 111.
No.
Which will eventually tell
Oh, we need to dead that. No!
This country, coronavirus.
And the
No,
worst
but-
part is that probably your loved one's doing it like, babe, can you breathe?
No, but okay, here's the thing, yeah. One thing I've noticed, because not everyone can test for coronavirus, all these things showing exact figures like, oh, there's 321 persons here that have coronavirus
Only the
is
confirmed.
it's only the confirmed. I think that means that it
Only
must
the
be
tested.
200 plus more people that, as in times that number,
Yeah.
at least 100 times that
Facts,
number.
Facts.
Because there's
It's
no
not about
way.
if we don't have it, it's not about...
So you know how you pulled up those statistics, Chantelle,
Yes.
of 19 or however many people.
That's per day.
So, per day. I
I
thought
think-
that was just the current confirmed cases.
Oh, confirmed, yeah. Confirmed cases.
Yeah,
So
confirmed
say we said
per
the
day.
current confirmed cases in what was it? Like
The
Essex,
boroughs.
in the whichever borough, pick a borough.
So
In Redbridge
borough,
was
any
like
borough.
20, for example.
Redbridge is 7.
So say it's 7, yeah, that's confirmed. That means that 7, each of those people have families of 4.
Uh-huh.
Each of those families of 4 have gone to school, have gone to work, have gone to, in that whole non-symptomatic,
Yep.
you know,
Yeah.
period of time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So really, it's 7 or 10 times whatever the hell that
Absolutely.
is that are
Absolutely.
actually confirmed. But obviously, not all of them will show symptoms. Not all of them will be as sick enough to go to the hospital.
But at
to
least
get
half of the
test.
number will carry that and maybe infect someone else who is
Right.
more likely to
Now,
get sick.
We don't have any medical experience in this room. None of us are epidemiologists, pandemic, whatever, you know.
Pandemic and a low.
And we've come
Pandemic
to this conclusion.
Mad.
And I could have told you this last week.
Yep.
But that's common. Smart people are common knowledge.
So
right?
why are the
So
people
where
in the
was
MPs?
Boris?
Boris, baby.
Boris, you're scientists.
Boris,
You're scientists.
baby.
What are your scientists telling you?
Boris, what happened?
Like,
Babes, what they're trying to do right now is they're trying to work the rounds around.
trying to. I ain't trying to hear nothing else.
flatten the
Boris,
curve.
what happened?
flatten the fucking curve.
Boris, what happened? I thought you said if we vote for you, the country, there'll be how much funding pumped into the NHS. Remember the propaganda? Remember the propaganda?
Whoa.
My letterbox was filled to the brim with propaganda.
I am shook.
Yeah? Oh yeah, we're gonna save our NHS. We're gonna save our NHS. Who's saving it?
Wow.
What's happening now? Coronavirus.
So, whoa. And you know, it's interesting because I watched the documentary I've been watching on Netflix, by the way, eerily timed. Pandemic.
I knew that's where
In
you're getting your
January.
information from.
No, but I also watched Fox. Watch Fox for
You need
actual
to watch
clears.
Contagion. That's
Contagion.
literally.
Yeah, I
was-
need to- I'm gonna
what
watch
one?
that.
I watched Contagion in high school.
Really?
That was like 2000. We
Yeah,
used it for
2011.
healthcare, like 2012, 13. We watched it in school. And we were
That
watching it in
shit.
healthcare. And I was like, oh my gosh, if that happened, that would be mad. And it sounded so realistic because they're like, for something that big, it has to be a flu. And then that whole pandemic thing came out in
Shit,
January.
really?
It has to be a flu to knock everybody out.
Damn.
And I only watched Pandemic the first time, like last month.
It's mad. But
And
it's so...
and it's literally.
Is it a series?
We are literally. It's
It's
just
a
a movie.
It's a 6-part series, documentary.
Sorry, not Pandemic. I only watched
But
Contagion.
So
Ah.
Contagion shows you, ironically,
Exactly.
how it starts. The food someone ate in China,
Yeah.
and then like shaking hands and not washing it, and then the woman travels to
And then
America,
literally, it's
and
just the virus. Because I learnt today, right? I was watching this really cute little video of like, I'm gonna send it to you guys after. It's really funny, but it's like this guy using these kids as an experiment just to show how a virus travels. He literally like put some like chalky thing on there on 3 of the kids' like hands at the beginning of class, and then at the end of the day he walks around and like shows you where that it transfers, and he shows you where that chalky stuff is made. Literally the whole classroom, every other child's hands, everyone's faces was covered in this chalky whatever.
Wow.
And he basically explained how viruses, they just want to have a family.
Yeah.
They just want to have a bigger
Yeah.
family.
Yeah.
Their main purpose in life, their only purpose on this earth is to multiply.
They don't live. They're not living,
They
but they
can't
want
live
something
without
to
a
live.
host.
They can't live without a host. They want something living and happy.
Kind of sounds like a demon.
Yeah, basically. There you go.
There you go.
There you go. That's another way to put it.
There you go.
Coronavirus.
Crazy. Imagine that's the devil. So
But that's
coronavirus is the devil, is that what we say?
Yeah.
Yeah. It's times. It's so interesting just seeing that the whole idea since you watch the documentary, they go like, it's not about. It's gonna happen inevitably. It's about when it happens and how the world handles it, and how they handled it in the documentary with the woman.
I didn't
especially,
finish it,
there's a woman in the first few. I've not finished it, but there's a woman in the first few episodes who they prepare hospitals, major hospitals in New York and stuff. Simulations. Have they done that for the NHS? I know that I don't know.
The
'Cause I
thing is,
can't
the
question, I'm
NHS
not
was
in it.
already overwhelmed pre-coronavirus anyway. So something like this was just going to topple it over.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Toppling. But I'll discuss in a bit. But I thought it was very interesting. I started making comparisons between the viruses in different countries and the numbers, and I started linking it to the hygiene of the people.
Now hold on a minute, because that's not fair. Ebola.
No, but that's different.
But that
No,
she
but
doesn't
still-
say that.
But I'm saying how Ebola. I get what
How
you're
was
saying.
Ebola transferred? Like
Hands.
oh, okay.
It's the same process, but it's a different type of virus. So that's why it wasn't a pandemic. It didn't spread the way it
The
did.
hygiene of the people.
But that's what I'm saying. You can't really say that.
Why?
But I also you can say it to a certain degree, yes, because the thing is, humans naturally, like, if you watch this video back, how many times have I touched my face, like, naturally?
Yeah,
Just
bears,
because-
of course.
But I don't mean it like that. I mean as in hygiene practices.
Fair.
And I mean how, you know,
Well, hand
culture,
washing.
yeah, how culturally maybe, for example, yeah, in Africa, there's not one place that I'd go to that I haven't had to wash my hands vigorously before I
Amen.
eat. Do you know what I mean? But
Bacon
here,
on knees.
I can get away with, do you know what I mean? Fair enough, I'll try
You don't
to
even
wash my
ever
hands.
actually have to wash your
You don't
hands.
really have to wash your
Ever.
hands. You
You
could
could go to a public toilet, leave the public toilet, and live your day, and no one would even know.
you've
You
washed
didn't
your hands
wash
like
your
the
hands.
one time or the two times. I've
Nah,
seen people
you can
come
get-
out of the toilet and
These
they just
people
go.
didn't even wash their legs, fam.
And that's why
They
I'm
didn't even wash
saying
their
there's a
legs.
link. There's a link between certain countries that the numbers are popping off and the certain countries that it's not there. That's what I'm gonna say.
With people being the humans that we are, the human race, we love to be social. What are people gonna do with their time now? This is the real thing. So, as a creative, I think it's a great time for me to finish my play.
Yeah.
You know, get that.
As in you're
out.
writing a play.
So I've been writing a play, and I feel like because I've just been so busy bustling and hustling about, now I get to sit with my thoughts and everything,
Complete and
and
work
just
on it.
work on it and work on myself. Meditating
Yeah.
is also a thing.
I hear that.
I also shouts out to the parents out there.
Yeah.
With annoying us, like, and like anyone with nieces and nephews being like, oh my god, so I just want Chris. Can I play games on your phone? I really want to play games. I can show you how to download it, like with their list.
I think the future is
Shut-
quite different. Like, I've got a different future with this corona.
What do you think?
What do you think?
Riots. And I'm waiting.
I predict
Riot.
a riot.
I predict riots.
I predict a riot.
I think people are gonna loot low key because London.
Yeah, I predict a riot.
Paris have already started.
First of all,
Rioting.
we're tired.
No, like, just
because
flames.
Back in the beginning of this pod, yeah,
Yeah.
you were already saying people are tired of being isolated.
Yeah.
It's been five days maximum.
Yeah.
You've been isolated.
Yeah.
So when you've really been underground for 30 days, 2 months,
And the government's forcing you to this time.
if we ever get there. But
Yeah.
when death toll happens next door type, like it's happening and you're scared and then you're tired of being alone and home and whatnot, I predict riots.
Wow.
I predict unfortunately, I mean, if we've been going in the same way that the film Contagion was going.
Okay.
So if we continue to go like that film,
We're doomed. We actually are.
so that's why I said like
And
2020.
it's 'cause
I don't
panic.
see 2020 really.
And I think what people need to do is, I really hope that everyone who's listening to this, please look at what's happening in China, look at what's happening in Italy. They are calm. They are out here singing songs on balconies.
But the
Bonding.
bombs are full, crema, whatever is
So,
full.
but the thing is though, the reason they're doing that is because, again, you can't risk it. Like, you don't know how it's going to be. See people who are healthy looking at, unfortunately, the loved ones, and then it passing to them. Like, someone may cry and just physically want to touch someone. I've seen it happen at funerals, unfortunately, where they cry over the body. You can't risk that.
Yeah, that's true.
Hence why people getting, you know, the cremated. It's unfortunate, but that's the steps people are willing to take. So I don't know, but what I do know, dating in 2020 is gonna be so different. Listen, Hinge is probably lit right now. Their stocks must be going up.
Do you know
People
what?
must be so bored.
I thought to myself,
my
I'm actually
God.
gonna download Hinge.
Listen, I got my phone. I was like, do I sit up to Samantha?
Hey, I'm on
Just to
Hinge
chat.
already, but like,
No,
I've
but
not
think
been
about it.
active. And now I'm thinking, when I'm
This
home,
is the time to be active
if
on
I ever
Hinge.
make it home, if my employer lets
But
me
do you
go
know the
home,
best part? You
I'm going to be
don't
on it.
think about it, guys. You save money. You save money from going out. That's phase one. Step two, you're actually forced to talk to a person.
FaceTime, innit?
FaceTime, online dates. You know,
Oh,
Kids
yeah.
so
Oh,
cute.
yeah.
You've been drawing and stuff. Babe, what you want to do today? Like, and then
Babe,
when you meet in the,
quarantine, babe.
and then listen, when the meet up, when the quarantine is over, the meet up about to be lit, boy. Like, if you get to
If
a point,
you are who
Oh.
I think you are,
yeah.
you know, 'cause if
We
you-
all got needs. Some people got needs, girl.
Oh well, God
I mean, I
damn! I wasn't thinking like that. I was like, should we grab some chicken? Should we go to a movie? You know?
I was more on a.
I saw the funniest thing on this. I saw a meme. I don't know if it's real. Someone posted on their Insta story. Someone I know, and it was about how this guy sent this girl £15 to go buy herself a bottle of wine.
because they're gonna go on like a FaceTime date or something. So he transferred her £15 for her to go out and get a bottle of wine
Incredible.
in preparation. Real men,
Take notes.
real
This
men.
is the
No,
future.
honestly.
This is the future.
The virtual date.
I love that.
Exactly.
Or even send me some coins so I can get the meal. You know, get a little Nando's.
Yeah.
Delivery, get a little,
And we can eat together.
you know, get a little
Yeah.
candle when I next go to get my rations from Tesco.
But now the thing is, you know what though? We're dating. Stop rationing. You lot.
They're already rationing last time.
One
One item.
yeah.
Or 3 maximum
other
items.
day, I
per-
didn't really get
People
one
are extreme
kitchen roll.
couponing,
That's
like
what
they
I'm
have
saying.
money.
So when I have to go get my things,
Rations, you know?
Bay, quarantine Bay sends me some coin. I go collect, you know, the items for the date within the rations.
And you know what? You'd be like, I make a sick carbonara. I'll teach you how to do it on FaceTime. Whoa. That is an idea.
Oh, you mean on Hinge? To
So
say that.
no, so
I
me,
ain't teaching you on Hinge.
no,
I mean
catch
on
up, mate.
FaceTime.
One with them on Hinge. Do we need to? Tinder. I think STDs are gonna go
I don't
down
cook for
as a
people who's
result
not
of
my
this.
boyfriend.
Do you know, I was going to download Tinder during this time, but there's
can't-
actually
can't
nothing
do
that
that,
can
no.
push me to
No.
go onto Tinder. Hinge,
Tinder's the devil.
I just
Together.
want to
There's a
know,
bit
I want to
more
get to know,
personality on Hinge.
yeah, I want to get to know more people during this time. But I think I'm going to use this time wisely to invest in any skills-based things that I want to learn that I can. Because I'm trying to change my industry anyway.
Okay.
And I was actually just going to learn a lot of stuff now anyway. But now the world's on pause. It's actually just perfect timing
It's
for
working
me.
out.
It's everything is. That's why I think I don't care that much.
The earth has been getting healthy again.
yeah.
It took a pandemic to heal the earth. Can you imagine?
No, but it's good
What do you
because
mean
human.
healthy?
Because
So
in Venice, yeah, if you see like where all the boats used to go,
yeah.
the water is so clean now.
You can
The
see fish
swans have
Oh, that's what
returned.
you mean. I thought you meant the humans. I was gonna say no, we're
No,
not.
we're
but-
not.
No.
Oh
And
yeah, and then the
earth is
pollution and the
getting
factories in China and stuff.
Yeah.
They showed like NASA showed some footage of
Air
like the
control.
it's clear.
Yeah, you know.
It
You
took
know,
a
these-
pandemic for us to listen to it and be like, it's a biological warfare. It's a different flex. Mother Nature got tired of us.
Mother
yeah?
Nature said, you know what?
Bet.
I'm gonna shut y'all up. I'm gonna shut y'all up.
Mother Nature said,
I'm gonna
said, you
figure
know
out this
what?
cycle. I'm gonna make the cycle work out.
bet.
Mother
Damn.
Nature said, "Okay, bitch, this how you want to do me? The last 200 years, it's okay."
You know, you want
Wow.
me to be done by 2050, but no,
No.
Nah, man.
no, baby, y'all will be done by 2050.
I'm gonna take y'all for a ride for
Wow.
a change.
So I was on reset.
Finishing up my trees and shit. I'm gonna show your ass. I'm gonna show your ass.
Accent is too.
Coronavirus.
Coronavirus. Scared
Shit, man.
I cannot. These times are peak. These times are peak. Dating's different. The environment's getting better. You know what?
I'm gonna be tired of my family though.
Yeah, do you know? I really feel tired. No, tired on behalf, or sorry for people that people that have to go home to a really abusive situation.
Amen.
And especially these kids and stuff. I feel really horrible for them because a lot of the times, for a lot of these kids, school is a good escape.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? And now they're stuck.
Yeah.
With people that they'd rather spend time with Hitler with, and these are your family. Do you know what I mean? And there's so many people across the UK. And my mum's a social worker, so work is still on. Do you know what I mean? She was saying there's going to be so much more referrals.
Busy. It's gonna be busy.
Do you know what I mean? She still has to go out there and visit families. I'm just thinking, shit, it's mad.
Even women or men who are in a domestic violence households or mentally abusive. But also, if you are in that situation, please call. There's lines. I know there's websites, but people living with their abusers because they feel like they can't move out.
Yeah.
They genuinely can't at this time, and you can't find a place to live. It's gonna be tough. Mentally speaking, how does one deal with that, and how can we support that?
This is where the government should be stepping in, but they can't. But okay.
But I feel like a first world government, there should be certain things in, certain plans made in place. I'm not saying predict the end of the world, but I'm just saying, whilst there's enough time to fight over, this company needs to rename SIF to JIF, this name, there's things that can be argued for in time. We know that there's going to be overpopulation crisis. We know that there's going to be these stuff coming on. Why can you not, as a government, put in measures for when there is
contingency plans for when situations happen?
That is the right word. Contingency plan. Boris, where was the contingency plan? Where was the contingency plan?
Today.
I'm coming for your neck.
She's tired.
It's not even all on Boris. What you said in the beginning of first world governments in general, can you imagine us first world governments here in the West are scattered?
Yeah, completely.
Africa not even united, just Uganda alone. I'll bring Uganda. Came and said, you know what, this is what we're doing, and it's done.
Boom.
In a week.
I've been telling people, and people have been so impressed, oh really? That's happening in
doing,
Africa? Yes, it's happening in Africa.
Yeah, because again, people
West is not the best. Hello, hello, it's me. Oh, hello. Yeah, West is not the best.
She's had enough. She's done. She's over it. She's had enough.
I'm over it. I'm just glad that this is happening on a global scale so that everyone else is being able to assess how different governments are dealing with this, effectively or not. And people that are, have this pride complex can actually sit back and, we're not actually the best. We're not actually the smartest,
Do you know what? And it's interesting because the World Health Organization, they were like, I had to outdo an owl noise. They were just like, look at Singapore. Singapore did social distancing and their numbers are quite low. They found out quick and they stopped everything. They closed everything, shut everything down. They flattened the curve quickly.
It doesn't take a scientist, a smart person, really
sense.
Look at Wuhan, and then you act accordingly.
Yeah.
If someone jumps off the cliff and dies, you don't run to the cliff and hope.
Yeah. Bitch is already dead.
Or you know what, science tells me I might fly for a little bit.
Literally though. And there's been a lot of that shit going on.
But
I'm tired.
That's the government. You have your economy needs to keep going. All these. Do what you have to do.
But why is it that serious for the economy?
So I can't complain.
Bruv.
No, them ones.
It's one of them ones.
I'm just insulting all the people that voted.
I'm saying you voted. Look what happened with the Tory government. That's what these are saying. They're done. They're done out here. I didn't vote Tory. I voted Labour with chest, and still my area lost. Oh, it hurts.
Yeah,
Let's not even get into that conversation.
Do you know what I mean?
It's mad out here. I just want people who are self-employed to have backup, because if they get sick, that's them done. They were talking about doing a universal pay for everybody.
I think in
Like,
terms
it's
of
Sounds hella communist, but
in terms
So,
of
as in like certain work, so to certain workers in certain industries, overall, the government should pay X amount during this time. Like
Here's where
minimum
yeah.
wage.
Time,
So
okay.
£8.31 is the minimum wage, isn't it?
I
Something
see where
like
you're coming
that.
from with that,
Even
but
that in
in one way, I can see
tricky.
why it doesn't work, because the whole point of you being freelance, the whole point of you being self-employed, is that you're not relying on people to pay you. Do you know what I mean? You really in order to go freelance, or in order to set up your own business, it's you taking the risk that I'm working for myself. I'm
Okay.
creating something that works. Do you know what I
Okay,
mean?
so let me
So-
argue. Let me argue
Oh,
that.
no. I'm coming.
Okay, okay.
Although I see where you're coming from, and the thing is, I agree with that, because you're living in a country where really every single person should be looked after to some degree. That's why I think introducing something like that, where now people that are freelancing and don't have jobs should be have access to these
The
grants
sick pay,
anyway.
That's a basic, yeah.
But I still think it would be somewhat delicate to load onto the government that, oh my gosh, like I'm now out of work because I took the risk to not work for someone else. Do you know what I mean? Like, you took the risk in going freelance, in not being in a company that has contingency in place for if something like this was to happen,
But
to
But
protect
some of these
you.
places
What
didn't
about
have
where
that
you have-
contingency.
wait,
That's the
but
thing.
what about like your whole sector's just been wiped off?
Thank you. So
you're in
theatre.
events now. Every event's been cancelled.
Every event's been theatre.
Or
All
you're in
theatres are
or
closed.
you're in travel and tourism. Every flight and whatnot's been
Thank
cancelled.
you.
Your thing has just been wiped off.
Yeah.
Your whole sector's gone,
That's it.
and like for indefinitely. We don't know how long until. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So then it's now like, who's really looking after you, or do you want to? You know,
Yeah, that's
it's
why I
homelessness.
still think that
or-
that the government should.
For those who
have a
are in sectors
responsibility.
where, you know, like IT, for example, okay, you lost a contract, you can probably still figure something out if you're self-employed. Or whatever. You could probably figure a skill or, you know, trade something.
No,
to
I'm not
someone.
saying that people should now train in to do something else. No, I'm just saying that in general. Do you know what I mean? When you do choose to work for yourself, there is always that risk that
Right, just
if
like,
something
as a business,
happens,
we'll go-
as a
Yeah, yeah,
business,
yeah.
if something happens, typically, like, you'll be left on your own.
Yeah,
Do you know what I
yeah,
mean?
yeah.
But I do think that in this situation, the government should, you know,
But
take
here's
into
my
account its people.
here's my tea. These same people pay taxes like we do. My friends who are freelancers pay taxes.
So what are the
my
taxes
friends who
for,
are
though?
out here going.
So what? Like,
So my
Just
friends
as
who
like
are going
everyone else.
just like everybody else.
It's the same
You
tax
have to
pot.
fill out a tax form and
Oh, yeah,
everything.
Yeah,
Okay,
you have
fair
to do
enough,
out your
fair
own
enough,
thing
fair
and
enough.
submit
It's-
your own thing.
All of that,
for
and some
the
people getting
tax
taxed
year.
heavily.
yeah.
And I get that, but at the same time, if you're paying taxes, you should have a right to some degree as well.
Do you
People
know
that
what?
are the only
Yeah.
group
I
are
don't
getting the
really
sick
see
pay.
the tax money generally in general in this country.
It's rolling out to our queen.
in
There you
Asia.
go.
I saw the tax money.
It's going out to our goods, the queen,
So-
Queen Lizzie. She's a boss, but at the same time, a lot of the money is we're looking after
Is
the royal
Lizzie a
family and
do
stuff.
you know what? I'm not even gonna go there.
I mean, listen, I've been watching The Crown, mate. What a sick show, yeah? But at the same time, listen, the taxes, we help support some of the royal
I'm not
family.
sending for them,
And
man.
look what happened, Meghan Markle. What did Meghan Markle do? What did our sis Meghan,
out the
what
way,
did
like-
Harry and Meghan Markle do? They left because they knew they could figure out on their own.
I'm
And
so
they
proud of them,
taxpayers-
by the way.
And that's what I'm saying, like,
so proud of
for them to know that, hey, we can look after ourselves
Yeah.
and all that stuff. We're getting money from like certain groups from this
Chaya's
country.
just like, no.
When
Well,
you're finished, I'll join.
Yeah.
Tell me when you're
All I'm
done.
saying is, shouts out to my freelancers out there and people and business. What I'm really appreciating right now, we're definitely going into recession, but I appreciate
Absolutely.
that banks are doing stuff like
On that
freezing,
note,
paying loans. and
on
all
the
that
note of
stuff.
recession,
Oh,
I've always kind of low-key wanted to live through a recession.
why? We've
We
already
did.
lived for one.
That little one in 2008.
It was a really big one.
Why are you trying to live in the Great Depression?
Listen,
of the
That's just it. It
1920s?
wasn't a small one. It was a
listen.
really,
Let
really big
me
one.
land. Yeah?
Aye, baby.
Alright, go on.
So, World War II ended, yeah?
Yeah.
Oh, God.
Mad recession, yeah?
Yeah.
The Great
Then there was
Depression.
the boom. Yeah, the Great Depression.
Yeah. Oh yeah. The
Then there
boom
was the
after.
boom. Who
Right.
enjoyed the boom? Trump enjoyed the boom. Who enjoyed the boom? All these men that have bare property, fam.
The boomers.
They enjoyed the boom. I'd
But
like
how's-
some boom in my
But how's
life.
that going to help you in the career you're doing?
What do you mean?
So
It's not going to help anyone initially, but of course maybe 10
So that's
years
why
we're
I
going to
feel
be
like
struggling. I'm saying I may be able to afford a house. These house prices may go down. I may be able to, be on several, ventures. I don't know what this depression could be.
wow.
What I'm saying is I may come out up. I may have an upper hand. My parents didn't have an upper hand because they came in, at a time when it was more or less what it was.
It's a bit sticky.
Now we're all kind of leveling that you've just snapped, you've just squammed everyone's legs, bruv.
It's so
We're
true.
all on the floor.
It's so
Everyone's on the kneecaps. Everyone's on the kneecaps.
Kneecaps.
We are all on our kneecaps.
I'm literally crawling down.
We are all on our
So
kneecaps.
that's what I'm saying. So now we can all get up at the same time. Well, whoever's left of the population is what I mean, and figure out what we can figure out. And I have an equal shot, is what I'm saying. If honestly.
Speaking of, I heard of one conspiracy theory.
The purge.
Nah.
Shit.
So I read somewhere. I don't know where I read this. It was some kind of online blog. I don't know. It wasn't Twitter.
Online
Some
blogs are my
online
fave.
blog.
It's all conspiracy and I
And-
live through it.
I mean, it could have been Reddit and it could have been Quora. It was one of them two.
Quora?
Yeah.
That's the worst.
I love Quora, man.
I thought that's like
What
Ask
do I
Men.
do?
What was
in
it?
times
I
of
love it,
trial?
man. I love it.
Oh,
So it was one of them
yeah.
two. And someone said that they think that China created this virus. And then basically the pattern is that's happened. They're now fixing themselves. So their economy is fixing whilst all the other global are scattering. So they're now coming on top. And that was one conspiracy theory that came on. I find it very interesting.
But at the sake of your grandparents?
Sacrifices, man. Sacrifices. I
mean-
swear Hollywood is sacrificing firstborns.
Do you know what?
You know what? I'm a firstborn. I'm not trying to get into it.
Fam.
Let's see what I'm trying to do.
Do you know what? Low key.
But imagine if this is real China, yo.
Yo, did the damn thing there. Because you don't
For
wipe
your
everyone
yen
out.
to come out on
This
top.
is so bad. Stop.
Strength.
Power,
Where is this spirit
united.
coming from? Where did it from?
Wow.
From?
Yeah, so that was very interesting.
What?
Yeah, can you
Quora
imagine?
is mad. It's not even 4chan. This is Quora. Reddit.
So let's have a would you rather then.
So, would you rather have coronavirus for
This ain't even funny.
for 2 months
What?
Hold on.
or have Ebola for 3 days?
Now,
Tell me the symptoms
The
of
logic-
Ebola. Remind me.
diarrhea.
No,
Fair
no,
enough.
as in you start coughing out
So
blood.
you cough up. No, you cough. You have dry cough. Then you cough up blood. Then you get dehydration.
Uh-huh.
Then you get fever.
Mhm.
Then you get.
Okay.
Then you throw up.
And your eyes
and
get
you-
like bloodshot
you get
and yellow and
bloodshot,
shit.
red, yeah. And then you.
Then you
your
die.
poop, your diarrhea.
Yeah,
you die.
you
And
die.
then you
soon.
die.
Because of
Okay, and
dehydration
the
and losing
symptoms
all that
of-
water.
And that's 3 days, yeah?
3 days. So you're gonna like
So how many of those stages am I gonna go
60%
through?
of it you may die.
It's logic.
60% of it you may die.
And
or coughing coronavirus. My lungs are finished.
Yeah.
For 2 months.
You literally feel like
Can't
you're
breathe.
breathing in
Now-
glass
2 months.
for 2 months.
Fuck off.
First of all,
Good one, isn't it?
the logic is beyond me because I'm just here like, when will it kick in for corona? 'Cause
Oh,
I've
that
been
as in like
having now-
from day dot
From
like
day you
from
say-
day one.
boom corona.
Symptoms start.
You're silly. I will get corona.
For
And
2
I'm
months.
asthmatic. Oh, period. Oh, absolutely.
Come on, man. You confirm Ebola for
Do you
3
know
days.
how hard it is when you have diarrhea? Your ass is on fire. Like you feel some type of way of pain. That's water coming from your mouth and your back. And then you're gonna be very poorly and sick. Ebola is not a joke. People out here in bed crying and screaming and can't get help, and your family can't even touch you to help you. You're on your
Same
own.
as corona, really. People are talking
No,
about,
no.
my family can't touch me. No one can touch me.
Bruv, I picked corona. Ebola was dead ass, not a joke, and it was bad. It was bad. And it's still circulating a little bit as well. Can you imagine? No.
Ebola virus.
Corona. The asthmatic has spoken.
Acayo, what have you? Ebola for 3 days.
Corona.
Corona for 2 months. What? I'd firm Ebola for 3 days.
You're crazy. The logic is
man.
But if it-
Listen, the percentage rate of life with
death.
Ebola.
no words. There are no words for
I'll
this
take my
logic.
chances.
No,
If it's
which
meant to be,
rabbits
it'll
don't have
be.
to be logical. That's why I love them so much. I get to put
I asked
whatever.
you how, because realistically, how many stages can you get through of Ebola in 3 days? Do you know what I mean?
It's so
From
quick.
day one.
It'd be a very intense turnaround.
And then
of-
you'll
No,
die
but
at the
for
end
your
of day
for the
3.
sake of your would you rather of like in real life. Do you know what I mean?
What?
Because you know in real life, okay, cool, you may be sick for 7 days.
I don't know
Of,
what the
like,
time
do
scale
you know what I
is
mean?
for
Like the
Ebola.
time
People
scale
got
of things.
it
I would have
quite
said
short.
Ebola logically for 3 days, but you said no. 60% of it you go through in 3 days.
No, as in the death rate is 60%.
So you're gonna die either way.
No,
in
but
3
you
days.
won't die.
but
You may not be one of the
3
people that
days.
die.
No, still corona.
What about you? You
It's-
said Ebola.
Yeah,
Right?
Ebola 3 days.
You're mad. You're telling me
I
you
shit
don't-
for 3 days. I cough out blood for 3 days.
and throw up.
I throw
You're
up for 3 days.
dehydrated.
I dehydrate
You're
for
not-
3 days.
You don't. What if you don't have the drip, mate? There's no hospital beds because everybody's got corona now. Like that's pneumonia.
That's the
all-
logic. That's
yeah.
the logic thinking though.
Sorry,
Yeah, do you know what I mean?
I would rather have corona.
I
Nah,
don't
nah,
want
nah, nah.
coronavirus.
I switch. I'm on Ebola. I switch. 3
Thank
days
you
or
very
2
much.
months.
Do you know what I mean?
2
Let's
months.
think about it. 2
2
months.
cycles.
It's
So
alright.
you- so-
It's
wait,
alright.
you-
I'm having Ebola for 3 days. Thank you very much.
And I swear through that I can be on morphine or something like.
You-
and
you
it's-
feel
and it's
me?
illegal. Like 2 months, you can't do morphine for 2 months.
Fam, you're gonna be done out here.
But yeah, on that note,
I get your
thank you for
logic of saying
listening.
that.
Thank you for listening. Thank you for coming. You know we have to.
We have to.
Oh no, sorry, you're making a point.
I don't know. All I know is this has got us moving like mad people. We will now be going into quarantine.
Oh yeah, this is the end of my social distancing.
This is the end.
until I go to work.
So this is probably gonna be the last episode that you see from us for a while.
Oh, it's mad.
It's been nice.
This has been real. Like
Stay safe.
it's sad because I've enjoyed
Look after
this.
yourselves and your families.
Yeah.
I'm gonna miss y'all, but I'll
That's
be
what it
back
is.
with some more
Hydrate.
Would You Rathers.
Catch us on
Hydrate and
Instagram.
don't buy so much toilet paper. I know you don't poo that much. If you do, see a doctor.
Maybe
Get
you have
some
Ebola.
salt. I don't know. Oh, whoa.
I'm joking. I've got nothing to
You
joke
said-
about.
oh, wow.
Sorry. Innit?
Oh,
I didn't even hear what you said, but I know what you said.
Alright.
take care of yourselves. And if you're gonna listen, if you're struggling and you're hearing this, apply for benefits. Do not be ashamed. You pay
it'll be-
taxes. You deserve it. Get your money. Sort it out until the government figures out what the heck is going on.
Thank you, Boris, for nothing once again.
Oh!
But just everyone, keep safe, keep positive. Do not think that Corona's a lifestyle. Like, we'll get through this. Nothing negative lasts forever, and that's just is what it is, you know?
That's our Earth. It goes through cycles. Last one was 1918. But, you know, life, innit?
This time next year will be very different. This time in 2 years will be,
Literally,
you know, Corona what,
holiday,
you know?
From what we're seeing with China and what we're seeing with Italy, mate, I'm still going to Greece for cheap in August. One.
You think?
I hope. I really do, because I'm trying to get my body out of the bikini, girl. I'm tired. I'm tired of this winter.
All right, y'all. We love ya. Bye.